Welcome everyone to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. And what are we going to talk about tonight? NetEase. They're at it again, ripping off somebody else's IP. Riot is now suing NetEase over what it's claiming is a Valorant clone, which, as we all know, this isn't NetEase's first time doing this. But Valorant developer Riot is basically suing NetEase over its game called Hyperfront. A filing at the UK court claims that Hyperfront is a copy of substantial parts of Valorant. Riot claims there are a number of similarities, including characters, maps, weapons, weapon skins, weapon stats, and charms. Basically, they're saying all our creative choices are mirrored in NetEase's game, said Riot's games lawyer Dan Nabel. We don't think that changing the color of a character's ability or slightly modifying the visual appearances changes the fact that it's copyright infringement, he said. And he actually threw out, it's like the old saying, you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. So, and anybody who doesn't know, Valorant's a free to play first person shooter. You know, microtransactions keeps that kind of game going on, and same thing. And same as Hyperfront that came out. The lawsuit that did claim that NetEase made some changes following a complaint from Riot, but the result is much the same with only minor cosmetic differences to differentiate them. That's what it said. Riot basically wants the courts to force NetEase to shut down Hyperfront, and pay, and are also claiming substantial damages, but no figure has been given. It's been I guess they placed the lawsuit over various territories, including UK, Germany, Brazil, and Singapore, due to the territorial nature of copyright laws. There's different copyright laws in every country. NetEase has done this in the past. I believe PUBG. Yeah, PUBG was the company that filed a lawsuit back in like 2018 or something like that over a game called Knives Out and Knives Out and Rules of Survival. And basically PUBG said that it infringed upon some of their copyright stuff. A settlement was reached in 2019 and the information of that was not disclosed. NetEase is kind of, I hate to sound this way, but it sounds typical of a giant company like that. You know, they're going to rip it off. And that's just what it is. They control a lot of games. You know, they help publish. I guess I shouldn't say control, but they publish a lot of games in the Chinese market, them and Tencent. And it means that because the Chinese government has a lot of control over the games that are published over there, and Tencent and NetEase kind of help facilitate that for foreign game companies and stuff like that. So it's not the first time that they've done something like that, but I also remember back in the day when a very first battle royale game, PUBG, claimed the same thing of the very popular game now, the very popular battle royale game now, Fortnite, because they used to run the Fortnite team. Was it they ran the engine of that? They developed the engine of it, and basically PUBG said they stole their idea. Nothing ever came from that, from what I understand. Maybe some out of court settlements and something, but it's egregious. If you look at some of the screenshots of Hyperfront, you're like, yeah, this looks like a lot of other battle royale games that are out there, but it does look a lot like Valorant. I will say, looking at some side by side screenshots, I'm like, wow, this is a blatant ripoff of a lot of features and functions. So if they get away with this says a lot about some of the copyright and courts out there. Shane, what do you think about NetEase getting sued by Riot? You think it's valid? You think that there's no contest, it's not the same game? What do you think?
Well, never having played either game, I can't say absolute, but I can say this. Just going off the screenshots of Omen from Valorant and then Nemesis from Hyperfront, that is almost purely straight up a ripoff. I mean, character model alone is a ripoff. I mean, there's no denying that. Now, gameplay wise, from what I was reading, they're quite similar. Now, but these games are a dime a dozen as well. So, but NetEase is also they've done this multiple times. It's not like it's a new thing for them. They're gonna put something like this out, make probably damn good money on it, until they're sued, and then they just close it off, and then they push out another one. It seems to kind of be in their little repertoire. You know, should call them net sleaze. Dad joke. The you know, the sad thing is they control a lot of games. They publish a lot of games, and this just gives them a bad rap. And the games that are real and not rip-offs, that's going to make it harder for people to want to play it, because they're like, oh, this will be a rip-off again, this will be a rip-off again. This is, I mean, just looking at the screenshots and reading this, it is pure intentionally mimicking the other game because it makes money. I mean, mobile games, it seems like you can make a mobile game about anything now and make money anymore. So they could have tried to make it a little less obvious. There's nothing wrong with being discreet net sleaze. I mean, try to mix it up a little bit, but they should be sued, they should be shut down. I don't know if I don't know if they're really hurting Valorant, with their version of the game. I mean, I never heard of it until this article came out. So these games aren't my repertoire. So I may not know it, but people that play these games, they may be like, oh, look at this. There's another game just like this one, or if you go look it up on the Play Store or whatever, that game is going to be showing up too. So I don't know. I think they should be sued. I think things like this, when they're that blatant, I mean, just the character model and the screenshot, they're identical to each other. I mean, it's like it'd be like alternate costume color is what it looks like. Like same character, but now you can get him in blue. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. It's not right for them to do it. Especially when you have people that work hard to create the original version. And then you have somebody come along and they just, mock it and mimic it, and typically you get a weaker version on that because it's just about milking the money. So, but yeah, they should be sued. I don't think things like this should be let go. I think there should be consequences for this.
Yeah, and part of the thing that gets me too is that Valorant's not available officially in China, right? It's only under back channels and underground type stuff there. Valorant's not available in China, and this kind of bodes not so great for that relationship, right? If you're going to blatantly rip off a game that has been trying to get published in your country, getting published in China for very long, for quite a while, because I believe right before China's big crackdown, Valorant was applying to get approved, and China stopped approving a bunch of video games and just now started doing some more batches of video games here in 2022. And now Valorant's not on the list, but this new game that's just a complete ripoff is in China. And I'm like, that really spells bad news, in my opinion, for copyright infringement. It probably will not ever get stopped in China, but it is what it is at that point. Valorant just, these other countries need to kind of get involved and do what they need to do and to stop this and get rid of this blatant ripoff.
Yeah, but that's China's motif, though. China just they steal everything, and then they put it out. That's what they do. That's why their economy is so big. That we have everything made over there. So I mean, but they're known for just taking everybody else's stuff. They've stole 1 billion copyrights, and they don't care. I mean, you cannot sue China. You're just because you're not going to win against their judges. And this is just like you pointed out. They're trying to get into that market. Well, why would they let them in the market if they can just throw something else out there and that does the same thing, but it's controlled by their government? So,
Yeah,
it's just it really irritates me to no end. Thievery is like 2 things in this world anger me the most. Well, 3. pedophiles, theft, and people who don't use blinkers. All three of those should be, imprisoned for life, if not the death penalty, in my opinion. Theft is like the biggest thing that drives me crazy. Somebody else works hard. They create something, or somebody works hard to buy something, and then somebody comes along and takes it, and then that just irritates me. And copying somebody's hard work just to make a quick buck, because what's going to happen is they'll get shut down, and then they'll just throw another one out. That's all that's going to happen. Nothing of substantial effect will happen with any of this.
Yep. And if they get away with it and they're allowed to proceed outside of their country of origin, then, and in all honesty, China should step in and do the same thing. They should regulate it and say, no, this is copyright, get out of it. But they're not going to.
Yeah.
But what should end up happening though is that Valorant should go through, and I hate to say this, but because it is available in China, just not officially. You need to ban Chinese players from the game.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, no, your government's doing something that's wrong, and unfortunately we have to punish the country as a whole if they're going to allow this kind of sham to operate. Because technically China does have Valorant teams, and which is kind of odd when you think about it. The game's not officially allowed there yet. So I hate to be that way, but the people will need to speak up and show that this game needs to that Valorant needs to get approved in China first, or not first, but it needs to happen. And then this other game needs to get shut down, and they need to change their plan. It is kind of some gray area, right? A lot of these games that are battle royale are very close and very similar in the way they look and, and the way they play. How many variations of a battle royale can you get where the circle just gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're popping in as a team,
See, ours isn't a circle. Ours is fire. Oh, yours is fire? Well, mine is fog.
Mine's blue flame.
Yeah, blue flames.
Instead of red flame.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to tackle that. The countries, but where they filed suit, I think that they need to shut them down, and they need to order them to pay, damages to Valorant. I'm not a battle royale gamer, so the only thing I could tell from is the screenshots. I've played Valorant just a little bit, but I've never played this other one. So this Hyperfront, I'm not even sure if it's available to play. To be honest with you, I just saw that it's out there. I don't even know if it's available in the US to play. So, I'm pretty torn on it. I think that there should be some strong repercussions. But well, who am I, right? I'm not a patent lawyer. I'm not a copyright lawyer. I'm none of that stuff. So, I'm just a guy who likes video games.
I'm just a dude disguised as a dude playing another
dude playing video games.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. This kind of crap has to be cracked down on. There is nothing that you probably can't find that's stolen over in China. You can buy a PlayStation 5 knockoffs all over the place. I remember, when they were first released, people were trying to buy them so desperately. They were getting it from these Chinese manufacturers, and it was like PlayStation 5, but it wasn't a PlayStation 5. It was an emulator of a PlayStation 2 or some junk, and just random things like that. And then you can find video game copies. That's instead of Crash Bandicoot, it's Crash Scratch and Dent Bandicoot or some crap. You can always find that stuff over there. That needs to be stopped.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that this game is available everywhere. Hyperfront, I think it came out earlier this year, and it's like on mobile too. I don't think Valorant may not be available on mobile, but everybody knows our thoughts on mobile. We're not huge fans of it. How similar are they? I can't honestly say because I've never played either one of them. I've never played them and compared them. I played Valorant, but I never played this new one, Hyperfront, so I can't really say. I just know that if Riot thinks it's strong enough, then they're going to go after them. But the courts will decide eventually, right? And NetEase has, like I said, NetEase has a history of doing this. I think I had read somewhere else too that like they had a game called Creative Destruction that looked very similar to Fortnite, which, I'm surprised if that one didn't get sued, then whatever, but it is what it is at this case. But
you don't
for the courts to decide, not
money.
us. Yeah, everybody wants that Fortnite money. Got to give me some of that Fortnite money, yo. Well, you got anything else you want to chat about on this possible ripoff by NetEase before
we just got to put a net around China to stop all this bull crap.
I mean, it's not China's fault, right? I mean, in the end, it's a Chinese company, but it's not China. China didn't specifically push this out and say copy that game. NetEase is its own company, and they do whatever they want.
That is true.
They can't you can't corner off a whole country, which, like I said earlier, my thought was that, but I kind of ease off on that. It's not the government didn't say do this, and NetEase is its own company, so NetEase needs to be punished. Not the people who play it in the country. So it's that kind of stuff. The government didn't say you need to copy this.
Well, they didn't officially say it, but they're gonna let them do whatever it takes to make them money so they can expand. So that's just that's political crap.
Yeah, so let us know down in the comments. Have you played both of these games? Do you think that they are similar enough that Riot has a chance at this? Or do you think they're just nowhere near, that they're not close enough, that it's two different games and that Riot's just getting worked up over nothing? Let us know what your thoughts down in the comments. Like I said, we don't play those games. It's just a news article that we picked up and thought, this is interesting. And a company being accused of ripping off another company's IP, so let us know what you think, and if you're not subscribed, why not? Go ahead and subscribe. Just like I said the other day, it's still free today. It's not going to be free forever. And I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we hope to catch you in the next one.
See ya.